going on, boxing fans? Julio Williams here with The Distance. Got a video for you guys. This one is for the Chavez Jr. versus Sebastian Zbik fight. Took place yesterday or last night. WBC middleweight championship on the line. Put together, champion Zbik against challenger Chavez Jr. As you can tell, I'm just trying to get through this video because I just made a 16-minute video. But let's get into this fight. I was looking at the fight, and I had to kind of turn the sound off for this fight. I don't really turn the sound off all that much, but I had to kind of turn the sound off in this fight because it seemed to me that there's a little propaganda sounding, propaganda talk in the fight. A little bit, not that much, but it seemed to be that they were very much pro Chavez Jr. in this fight. So coming into the fight, I'm thinking that Chavez Jr. and somebody hit me up recently on my page and brought up some good points with Chavez Jr. About no technique, no timing, this, that, and the other, and I have to kind of agree with him on that one. I still think that Chavez Jr. is still trying to develop technique. I think he's still trying to develop tremendously. With Chavez Jr. And I'm not going to go round by round. I'm just going to say this. The first 4 or 5 rounds of the fight, I had Zbik winning. I couldn't give the 5th round to Chavez Jr. because I thought Zbik did enough in the later rounds to, he did enough in that round to win. He did enough work in the round. If you look at the punch numbers, Zbik was, I believe he was outlanding him. He was outlanding and outthrowing him. Working a lot more, but at the end of the 5th round, that was kind of a momentum shift for Chavez Jr. Zbik was coming in, both of them were standing inside, right in front of each other, and Chavez Jr. looked tremendously bigger than Zbik by probably about 10 pounds, coming into the fight. He looked bigger, and I think that the size had a lot to do with Zbik, pretty much wearing down in the fight. I think the size, I don't remember how much they rehydrated to. I think it was like a over 10 pound difference, probably about 15 maybe. But overall, I just think that Zbik in like the first 5 rounds was able to outbox and outwork Chavez Jr. Threw a lot more. I think he landed much cleaner than Chavez Jr. Though he was getting caught. He was getting caught with many shots, but shots every now and again. But overall, it just seemed to be a fight full of power punches inside. So after round 5, I didn't give round 5 to Chavez Jr. because I thought Zbik did enough work in the first 5 rounds to win this fight. But in round 6, that's when the momentum shift changed. Chavez Jr. was able to start landing more punches inside. He was able to impose his will and try to walk him down a lot more starting in round 6. Zbik did have a second win in the fight. He did have a second win, and I think it was like around 8 or 9 he had a second win, and he was able to control that round, and I gave that to Zbik. But I gave the rest. I did have one 10-8 round when it seemed as if Zbik did absolutely nothing in that round. Chavez Jr. just came forward and continued punching. I gave the rest of the rounds after Zbik's second win. I did give the rest of the fight to Chavez Jr. With that point deduction that I did have with the 10-8 due to the fact that Zbik did absolutely nothing. I think it was one of those rounds where Zbik did absolutely nothing. It was kind of on the defensive and standing in his shell pretty much most of the round. I did give Chavez Jr. the fight by 1 point. Though you can argue a draw, you can argue 1 point. You can even possibly argue 1 point for Zbik, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, decent countering, decent, in the punches thrown, then you could probably give, if you didn't take the point off for Zbik doing nothing in the 1 round, you could have it a draw, or even possibly 1 point for Zbik. It can go. It's not necessarily a fight that it's not really a pick 'em fight, but it just sounds like on paper it can go either way to an extent. It's like one of those things. If it depends on what you're looking for. It's like if you're absolutely biased for Chavez Jr., you would give him the fight by X amount of points. Or if you're absolutely biased against Chavez Jr., you would give Zbik the round on, X amount of points. So it is what it is. But I had it 1 point for Chavez Jr. But also could have been a draw. So anyway, guys, that was Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.